we've all seen the homing attacks, like
Oh yeah.
the SDs, the over the top, like just trying to ice shot and just like SDing for it. So, I mean, I do go for things that I know I shouldn't be doing.
You know, not a lot of people in the competitive Smash scene compared to how many casuals there are practice for years and years and years, and they still suck heads. So
I don't know, it's too inconsistent, and sometimes things don't make sense, and lately they haven't made sense. So hey everyone, we're doing Smash Ultimate Spectrum. We have 4 options right here on the floor. It's strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. We have a lot of questions over here ready for us, so let's get into it.
Some Smash players take pop-offs too far.
Actually,
I mean, there's no way you're disagreeing, bro. We've seen the pop off.
Right, like, yeah, no, he's staying there. Okay.
This dude wants to be different so bad.
Yeah, but no, I just
yeah, I don't think there's not the bugs of popping off. Like
If somebody feels really happy about some type of thing, I think it's, you know, I do, man. Usually it's like contained. Like I think the biggest like examples I could think of is like I think SCJ doing the chair pop off.
well, yeah, I kind of agree with what Boyd said. That's why I changed my opinion.
I landed on agree. I don't care enough to like go super far one way or the other, but I think sometimes it's clearly kind of ridiculous. It feels like they're like barely in control of their own body. So I've done my fair share of pop-offs, so.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when it's my turn. So I mean, I'm surprised, as you know, but we have good pop offs, him and I. So it irks me to see how like other people will just do these like ingenuine, over the top, break shit pop offs, and I hate seeing it. So yes, I strongly agree. People go way too far with their pop offs, and it ruins the charm of it.
I strongly agree. I think pop-offs sometimes are taken too far. It's a lost art because people will pop off for anything nowadays. Like people will 3-0 someone 3-stock like knife, but other day they'll just pop off. But it's like I get popping off if it's game 5 or something. But
Yeah.
if your opponent just SDs or whatever, hey, you look like it's like okay, man. Like you don't have to do all that, bro. Like I don't know.
I prefer to go for the cool option instead of the safe one.
Cause I'd be doing things I know I shouldn't be doing.
So yeah, I gotta strongly disagree. Well, I was taught to play save and play to win, not to do cool stuff. So like, yeah, I mean, so like Game & Watch has that much, but like, there's NFL montages on Twitter, and like, they're pretty solid.
I feel like, I mean, we've all seen the homing attacks, like
Oh yeah.
the SDs, the over the top, like just trying to ice shot and just like SDing for it. So, I mean, I do go for things that I know I shouldn't be doing just because I can maybe like balance the risk reward and I think, okay, if this works, then I get the stock or whatever, or this would look cool. Like that thought crosses my mind a lot. But obviously, like my main gameplay, my general playstyle isn't like that, but sometimes that does happen.
Wait, you play Sonic?
No, actually. I play Mario, bro. I'm kind of in a similar boat with Sonix. For me, my thought process with the question is, yes, I would prefer to go for the cool thing, but it's like, it's only like if it's 3 stocks to 1, or if I'm like feeling really confident and I'm playing well, like that's where I like allow it. It's like he just said, like balancing the risk reward. My playstyle is like, if I feel like I've gotten ahead in the match enough, I start to do crazy stuff, like put my opponent out of their misery quicker than they'd expect. You know what I mean? Like,
Step side jump. Jump. I grew up with like my region. We would just like love the game, and we just tried to swag on each other all the time. So that's just how I grew up. Learning how to play a game was just be as raw as I possibly could, and then I started losing to better players, and that kind of balanced out. But I still prefer to just be raw.
you just called me a chump and said the same thing.
I learned the game through combo videos, and I try to kill people whenever I hit them. I don't think there's anything safe about a lot of the stuff I do, and I've talked it out with like, people are like, dude, why don't you dash back? Or like, I'm like, no, I'm like, I want to kill this guy. And I literally want every hit to just go to a highlight reel. And yeah, I think that sums up the entire philosophy I had over playing this game.
Given enough practice, anyone is capable of becoming a top Smash player.
Y'all be strongly agreeing. No, you state.
I used to be a strongly agreeer. I used to be like, yeah, with enough practice it can work. But I've been in this scene way too long to see people put in hundreds upon thousands of hours. And of course, like some of it is really good practice. Not saying it's just they're just playing the game, you know. Like there is like a certain degree of, I would just say, talent to like just blanket statement to become like a top Smash player. And I know nowadays it's way hard. If this was like 2019, I'd strongly agree. Nowadays, nah, you gotta get past too much.
Like, I genuinely think you have to have like a unique or like specific mindset to be able to like, first of all, compete. It's like about compete and Smash. You need both to be able to be good, which is why there's like, you know, not a lot of people in the competitive Smash scene compared to how many casuals there are. And kind of similar to what you said, I've seen a lot of people practice for years and years and years, and they still suck ads. So
I strongly agree because, I mean, as someone who started out being bad at the game, I was good casually. Like, between my friends, I was probably the best one out of the group and stuff. I do think there's some sort of talent that goes into it. Maybe things that you did as a kid that can be applied within the game. Like reflexes, I don't know, you know, it really depends, right? But at the same time, I feel like talent in the end, it only helps with how fast you're gonna get to your goals, and then the hard work. Like it's not, I think people need to like not look at it as a race and just a marathon. Like as long as you keep moving, you're eventually gonna get there. The talent's gonna determine how fast you get there, but ultimately I think you can always get there if you put in the right work.
I agree with what they say, like, or not agree, but I can see what they mean. But as someone who got from a region with like a lot of obscure and untapped potential because of other factors, I can tell you that like I do believe that if you put in like not just the practice, but like going outside the box, so like go like flexing and doing a lot of things for like 1,000 hours or like years is one thing, but like going outside the box with like stuff like maybe changing your playstyle, stuff with like small details that might be affecting your playstyle, like for example not dashing back enough, like stuff like that, you know, I think is what a lot of people are missing, not just like playing the game, but a lot of people don't think about that. And also a lot of what people are missing in reality is just experience. Like a lot of people play amazingly in either friendlies or weeklies or regionals or whatever, but they don't go to majors where it's like super high stakes. And if people don't have that experience, I think their potential is never gonna be like fully on tap. So
I think this conversation is like probably gonna be the most complicated question we'll have, and I think I could be swayed in literally any direction, but I'm somewhere around agree or strongly agree at the moment. But I don't know, for me, like I'm good at Smash, but like you'd be surprised how bad I am at games in general, you know what I mean? Like
I've watched this dude casually game. He's not great. Let's just say he could use a little bit more raw talent in practice.
And I also think I lack a lot of skills that like a lot of top Smash players have naturally. Like I had talked about it recently. I actually think my adaptation's like kind of bad, but like I put in a lot of work and I try to prepare a lot in advance. And I don't know, just because I really suck at a lot of other things, despite maybe being naturally good at Smash a bit, like I still feel like a lot of it is just experience. And I've done a lot of coaching for Smash as well, and I feel like I've really helped a lot of people. And I just feel like I'm leaning towards it, agreeing with this one.
There is no way to perfect player rankings for Smash.
Perfect. The numbers and voice.
like we're talking, it's literally a perfect ranking. Everyone agrees with it, type thing. Damn.
I don't know.
Perfect ranking does exist if you have a sample size of one major. And we're just like, all right, who's the best player right now? Oh, right now. Who's the best? And I think, of course, it gets harder the more you add to it, which is why, realistically, it's really difficult to actually gauge perfect ranking. Because it's like, there's just so many factors that you have to tie in. What region matters, what tournaments matter. There's a major every day nowadays, so like, I think that's malarkey. I think that sucks. I think having pre-designated majors would make it a lot easier to create a perfect ranking. But because tournaments become whatever they want and whenever they want, is pretty much impossible.
I mean, I can kind of disagree with most of what he said, except like, you have to like impossibly weigh so much. Like you have to weigh wins versus losses versus how much tournament counts versus like, unless somebody gives like a finite number to what is valued more, we'll never have like a happy rankings. I think it's possible to happen one day, which is why I'm not strongly agree.
Some people clearly value set records. Some people clearly value attendance. Some people clearly value big wins and first places. Like I don't know. I feel like I've been in all of those different positions in like my high rankings. I've gotten ranked high from like one specific win, or I've gotten ranked high across like high attendance and consistency. Like I've gotten a similar number for like different reasons, and it's just too hard to say what matters more than others, or if some things even matter at all. Like it's too difficult.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like there's not much more.
yeah, there's really not much more to add. I think it's mainly just what's been already said, like head-to-heads, how many tournaments you went to, the wins you got, the losses you got. But I don't know, it's too inconsistent, and sometimes things don't make sense. And lately, they haven't made sense. So I don't know. It probably might not happen.
For a game as global as Smash, I think they should be regional. There should be regional rankings, and then you get like there should be a tournament, a big tournament, or 2 big tournaments a year, where the top 10 or of every region, for every continent, just travel, and then they meet up at a big tournament and they play, and whoever wins that tournament, then or however that.
No, actually,
He's spitting.
hang on.
However the ranking or the placings for that tournament end up being, then that's like the ranking technically. But again, I don't think it should be like a ranking. It's just like, okay, well, who won this tournament? And then people start debating who's the best in the world. Like, because even with the rankings, people are never gonna be satisfied with like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be here actually.
That's what I was saying. You just should go there.
Definitely, people are never gonna agree on who even is number one. Like even to this day, Sparkle being number one, I see people still argue like, oh, Mia had a better season or whatever. So you can never really please anybody. There's always gonna be debate. So I really think there's no point. Like you might as well just leave it up for debate.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment with what you think of our opinions and what you think. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Take care. See you later.